All right, let's dive into a problem that, honestly, even the smartest, most innovative companies out there really struggle with. It's this challenge that gets right to the heart of what it means to grow a business. So let me ask you this. What do you do when you have an absolutely killer idea, something you know can change the game for people, but the very customers you're trying to help are just too busy, too overwhelmed to even give you a minute of their time? That's the conundrum, right? And that's exactly what we're going to unpack. And our main character in the story is a company called InsightWorks. Now, these guys have a brilliant service, they really do, but they've hit a wall, a big one. They are standing at a classic strategic crossroads, and no exaggeration, the next move they make could literally define their future. So here's the tension, the real dilemma. They have to grow, that's just business, but they can't do it by selling out or betraying what makes them, well, them. They're trying to figure out how to get new clients while staying true to this awesome community-focused mission. It is a super high-stakes balancing act. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what's so special about InsightWorks anyway? To really get why they're in this pickle, we gotta rewind a bit and look at their solution. Because their whole model was basically born out of being totally fed up with the old, broken way of doing things. All right, check this out. On one hand, you've got your old school traditional consulting. You know the drill. Crazy expensive, you get these huge, dense reports that nobody actually reads, and it's totally inaccessible for any small business. But InsightWorks, they just flipped that whole model on its head. They do affordable, hands-on workshops that are all about getting real, actionable results. They're specifically designed for those businesses that don't have a ton of cash, but are absolutely hungry for great ideas. But here's the kicker. And this is where the story gets really interesting. Having this amazing, game-changing service, well, it turns out it's not enough. Yeah, even with this incredible value proposition, their growth has completely stalled. And understanding why, that's the heart of their whole problem. I mean, they're basically facing a perfect storm. Think about it. Their ideal clients, these small business owners, are super busy and, let's be honest, pretty skeptical. The value of a collaborative workshop isn't something you can just see and buy like a coffee maker. And to make things even harder, they're worried that if they start marketing to individuals too, they'll just water down their brand. Oh, and did I mention they're doing all of this on a shoestring budget? You know, there's a line from the case study that just nails it. The problem isn't the product, it's perception. This is a classic marketing and messaging challenge. It all boils down to how in the world do you cut through all the noise and get those busy, skeptical people to have that aha moment and see the incredible value you're offering. Okay, so this is it. This is the moment of truth. The team at InsightWorks has boiled it all down to 3 possible paths forward. So let's do this. Let's break down each option, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But before we dive into the options themselves, it's actually really helpful to see how they're thinking about this decision. It's a simple 3-step framework. First, you've got to be brutally honest about your constraints, like that tiny marketing budget. Second, you evaluate each path clearly and objectively. And finally, you weigh the risks versus the rewards. It's a really smart, structured way to handle a huge, messy problem. So here they are, the 3 big options on the table. Option 1 is to focus. Just double down on what they're already doing with small businesses. The upside, pretty low risks to their brand. The downside, the growth potential is just moderate. It's kind of the safe play. Option 2, expand. Go after individuals, not just businesses. Now, this has huge potential for scale. We're talking big growth, but it's also super high risk for diluting their brand. And finally, option 3, partner. Team up with existing business networks. This also offers that high growth potential, but the risk to the brand is a bit more manageable. As you can see, every single path has a major trade-off. And this right here is probably one of the most important lessons in all of business strategy. There is no single best answer. It just doesn't exist. The right move is all about who InsightWorks is, what their DNA is, and what they can realistically pull off with the resources they have. What's a brilliant move for one company could absolutely sink another. Okay, so let's zoom out and bring this all back to you. The whole InsightWorks dilemma. This isn't just some abstract business school case study. It's packed with really powerful lessons that you can apply to pretty much any business or even your own career. So what are the big takeaways here? First, you have got to be crystal clear on who your target market is. That is non-negotiable. And then that clarity has to drive your marketing. They have to be in sync. We also saw that partnerships can be like a cheat code for growth, a really powerful shortcut. And maybe the biggest lesson of all, every single strategic choice is a trade-off. Every time you say yes to something, you're automatically saying no to something else. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. A question I want to leave with you. The next time you find yourself, or your business, or your project standing at a crossroads, how are you going to decide which path to take? What's your move?